When the less than 1 minute video spread across social media, the internet instantly collapsed in a storm of speculation. Two voices all too familiar to ARMY's ears could be heard faintly but clearly. Jimin said, "I wanted to say this before, but I was afraid it would change everything." Jungkook quietly replied, "You know, my feelings haven't changed since that day." No one expected this spontaneous snippet would reopen the chapter of the relationship between two BTS members that had long been discussed in fandom whispers. The main question: is there hidden love behind Jimin and Jungkook's closeness? For years, the dynamic between Jungkook and Jimin has been a hot topic of discussion. From on-stage moments to personal interactions caught on camera, there is a chemistry that's hard to ignore. But the public has always been divided. Is this just ordinary bromance, or is there emotional depth that has long remained hidden? Speculation reached a climax when a production staff member leaked that the recording was not merely a private snippet, but part of BTS's internal documentation before the members entered military service. It didn't take long before that clip spread widely and triggered a wave of reactions from global fans. From online forums to fansite analyses, one thing became clear: Jimin and Jungkook's relationship deserves a second look. In an old interview now being reanalyzed, Jungkook once said about Jimin, "He's the only one who can read my mind before I speak." Not just once or twice, statements like this have appeared on multiple occasions. Jimin, too, has been no less vocal. He has repeatedly comforted Jungkook in high-pressure situations, even becoming the only member able to make Jungkook smile amid the exhaustion of a world tour. If this is just regular friendship, then it's a very rare form of it, or maybe something more. More surprisingly, a former BTS stylist confirmed an emotional moment backstage during a concert in Los Angeles. She saw Jimin crying in Jungkook's arms after intense rehearsals. They didn't say much, but the way Jungkook hugged Jimin, that wasn't just an ordinary hug. She said in an anonymous interview, "It didn't stop there. The similarity in accessories like rings, necklaces, even tattoos suspected of having personal meaning further fueled speculation." The agency called it coincidence, but fans weren't so easily convinced. Especially when the farewell ahead of military service came, the interaction between Jimin and Jungkook seemed the most emotional. In their final documentary video, Jimin's voice can be heard whispering, "I'll wait." Words that later became an unofficial slogan among fans who believe there's unspoken love. During military service, their communication remained active. A letter from Jungkook that was accidentally leaked said, "I hope you still think about the window in that hotel room." A sentence that led fans to speculate further about private moments unknown to the public. Relationship psychologist Professor Han Eugene of Seoul University stated that such emotional interaction shows an effective attachment beyond professional or regular friendship boundaries. Of course, not everyone welcomed the issue warmly. Conservative circles worried about its impact on BTS's clean and professional image. But on the other hand, many fans offered full support. "We support them for their sincerity, not just orientation or relationship rumors," wrote one fan from Brazil who went viral on Twitter. The surprises didn't end there. An unnamed BTS member, in an overseas interview, explicitly said, "They have feelings that were never revealed publicly. But it's real." This statement, though vague, was enough to validate suspicions that the dynamics between Jimin and Jungkook were more complex than previously assumed. With BTS preparing to return from military service, many are hoping for clarity. Not for sensation, but to reveal the truth behind the closeness of two figures who have touched millions of hearts. Will they unveil feelings long hidden? Or choose to keep their privacy? What's certain is that the public is now reviewing every old interaction from a different perspective. The Love Yourself, Speak Yourself concert video resurfaced, showing Jimin tying Jungkook's shoelaces and then silently locking eyes. A moment once seen as trivial now seems like a fragment of a bigger narrative, perhaps a love held back. Fan analysis also highlights the lyrics of their solo songs. Jungkook's Still With You and Jimin's Promise both carry tones of longing and yearning for someone close yet unreachable. Many believe the songs are emotional expressions they couldn't convey verbally to the public. Behind the scenes, BTS documentation also shows that only Jimin and Jungkook appear deeply comfortable sharing long hugs in moments of stress. Jimin's 2021 birthday strengthened the speculation when Jungkook gave a deeply personal surprise without media coverage, only hinted at through Jimin's Instagram story and caption. "Thank you for always remembering parts of me that I often forget." This isn't just a series of tiny fragments. These are pieces that form a bigger picture of a possible love that grew silently in the midst of global spotlight and stayed protected behind the scenes. Now, the question is no longer whether there is hidden love, but when that truth will be allowed to be seen. Because in a world full of pressure, where even idols' breaths are monitored by the public, the most honest kind of love is the one that survives, even without words. But behind the wave of emotions, support, and creative interpretations continuously emerging from fans around the world, one fundamental question arises that we cannot ignore. Is all of this truly real? Or are we caught in a narrative construction designed to draw massive public attention? In an era where video snippets, vague captions, and song lyrics can be interpreted in countless ways, it's important for all of us to pause and ask, what is really happening behind the scenes? The statements mentioned in the previous article, whether from staff, former stylists, leaked audio clips, or letters, mostly originate from unofficial platforms like TikTok, Twitter, now X, YouTube, and various online forums. Shouldn't this be a warning sign for us not to swallow every viral narrative whole? Social media, though a medium of informational freedom, is also fertile ground for bias, manipulation, and even the fabrication of facts. Let's take a concrete example. The audio recording of Jimin and Jungkook said to reveal a hidden secret. Is that recording truly authentic? Who recorded it? Where and when did it happen? And most importantly, has the actual context been presented? Or are we only hearing a clip that was deliberately selected to shape a certain narrative? If the recording is real, why didn't it appear on HYB's official channels or Bangtan, which are usually used to share BTS documentation? Furthermore, is the emergence of these pieces of evidence truly a coincidence? Or could there be an underlying agenda, either from parties wanting to profit from the virality of this issue, or from social media algorithms intentionally boosting dramatic narratives for clicks and watch time? And what about the leaked letter? A sentence like, "I hope you still think about the window in that hotel room," is indeed stirring. But is there convincing evidence that the letter was written by Jungkook and actually meant for Jimin? Or is this merely a piece of fanfiction being presented as though it were fact? We all know the BTS fanbase is incredibly productive in creating creative content that can sometimes be so convincing it's hard to distinguish from reality. One thing worth noting: not a single BTS member has explicitly confirmed the alleged relationship, nor has the agency. Even as the rumor snowballed, they have chosen to remain silent. Is this a form of privacy protection or a signal that the issue is actually baseless? Or perhaps they understand that direct denial would only create more room for new speculation. This is the crucial point we must reflect on together. Does the so-called hidden love truly exist? Or are we as the audience falling victim to a narrative game shaped by internet culture and the hunger for sensation? We live in an era where fact and fiction blend easily. Videos can be edited, audio can be manipulated, and opinions can quickly be accepted as truth if enough people believe in them.